Archive reference: Greyfall Files 003. The following incident took place during the winter of 1903. It began shortly after midnight at Greyfall Station. The station master would later describe the event using only 4 words. The train arrived empty. At first, nobody understood what he meant, because trains arrive empty all the time. But this train was different. Its lamps were still burning. Steam continued to rise from the engine. The metal wheels were still warm. The brakes had been engaged only moments before arrival. Someone had driven the train. Someone had brought it to Greyfall. Yet when railway staff opened the doors, every carriage was empty. No passengers, no conductor, no crew, nothing. The station master would later testify that something else disturbed him. Not the missing people, not the abandoned train. The silence. Normally, a train arriving at midnight filled the station with sound, voices, footsteps, luggage, doors opening. This train produced none of those things. He could hear the engine cooling. He could hear the steam escaping. He could hear the wind moving through the station. But from inside the carriages, nothing. No movement, no breathing, no sound at all. As if the train had arrived carrying absence itself. And that was only the beginning. Earlier that evening, Train 27 departed from Black Hollow Station. Its destination was Greyfall, a routine journey. Nothing unusual, nothing remarkable. 37 passengers, 3 crew members, 1 conductor. The weather was cold, the sky clear, visibility excellent. No delays, no mechanical issues, no warnings. According to official records, the train left the platform exactly on time. Several passengers would later become important to the investigation. A businessman named Harold Voss, a schoolteacher named Clara Morton, a retired army captain, a young mother traveling with her daughter. Ordinary people, people with families, people with plans for the following day, people who had absolutely no reason to disappear. Witnesses remembered seeing them board. They remembered conversations, luggage, tickets being checked. Everything appeared normal, and that is precisely what made the case so disturbing. Because whatever happened, happened after departure, somewhere between Black Hollow and Greyfall, somewhere along a stretch of railway that no longer exists. The first unusual reports appeared less than 30 minutes into the journey. At first, they seemed insignificant. A passenger complained about mist inside one of the carriages, then another, then another. Normally, such reports would have been ignored. Winter trains often carried condensation, but the descriptions did not match. The fog was not gathering near the windows. It was moving through the aisles, slowly, deliberately. Witnesses later described it in remarkably similar ways. They said it appeared to flow against the movement of the train, against the airflow, against reason itself. One passenger claimed the mist would stop beside certain seats, remain there for several seconds, then continue onward, as though it were searching for someone. The statement was dismissed by investigators, at least initially. 2 days later, the passenger who gave that testimony vanished. His luggage was found inside his home. His coat remained hanging beside the front door. He was never seen again. At 11:47 p.m., Greyfall Station received a telegraph transmission. The operator on duty would spend the rest of his life regretting that moment. The message came directly from Train 27. At first, everything appeared normal. Then the transmission changed. The operator later described hearing hesitation in the sender's rhythm, as though the person on the other end had become distracted or frightened. The final message read, "Visibility reduced. Passengers concerned. Something is moving through the..." The transmission ended there. No signature, no explanation, no continuation. Repeated attempts to re-establish contact failed. The operator sent 6 return messages. None received a response. Years later, investigators discovered something strange. The telegraph paper showed evidence of a second line beginning to form beneath the final sentence. A line that was never completed. Only 3 words could be identified. "We can see." The remainder had faded beyond recovery. At exactly 12:13 a.m., Train 27 arrived in Greyfall, right on schedule. No signs of damage, no derailment, no indication of emergency. From a distance, everything appeared normal. Then the doors opened. Nothing happened. No passengers stepped onto the platform. No conductor emerged. No luggage was unloaded. No voices could be heard. Railway staff entered the first carriage. Every lamp was still burning. Several coats remained hanging beside their seats. Half-finished drinks rested on small tables. A newspaper lay open in carriage 4. A chess match remained unfinished in carriage 2. One white piece hovered inches from checkmate. No sign of struggle, no sign of panic, no sign that anyone had attempted to escape. It looked as though every passenger had simply vanished at the exact same moment, leaving everything behind, including themselves. Among the items recovered from the train, one object received particular attention: a silver pocket watch, still ticking, still functioning perfectly. The watch belonged to Harold Voss, the businessman who had boarded in Black Hollow. Investigators immediately noticed a problem. According to ticket records, Voss had occupied a seat in carriage 3. The watch was found in carriage 1, more than 40 meters away. No explanation existed, yet something even stranger emerged. When railway officials opened the watch, they discovered that it had stopped once before, for exactly 7 minutes, at precisely 11:47 p.m., the exact moment the final telegraph message had been sent. No mechanical fault was ever identified, and no one could explain why the watch had resumed ticking afterward, almost as though time itself had briefly stopped, then continued, without the passengers. Among the objects recovered from Train 27, investigators found a small leather notebook. It belonged to Clara Morton, a schoolteacher traveling alone. Most of the pages contained ordinary notes, shopping lists, lesson plans, names of students. Nothing unusual. Then they reached the final page. The handwriting had changed. The neat lettering seen throughout the notebook was gone. The words appeared hurried, uneven, as though they had been written by someone struggling to remain calm. The final entry read, "The fog is thicker now. People are moving between the carriages. I don't think they are passengers." Beneath those lines appeared a second message, written in a different hand, different pressure, different style, different ink. Only 4 words. "They can see you." No one could explain how those words appeared. No passenger matching the handwriting was ever identified, and no additional pages were found. The most disturbing discovery was made inside the dining carriage. At first, nothing appeared unusual. Tables remained in place. Dishes remained untouched. Several chairs still faced one another, as though conversations had ended mid-sentence. Then investigators noticed a shattered mirror mounted to the far wall. Fragments covered the floor. A railway inspector was assigned to document the damage. His official report survives to this day. Most of it contains routine observations, measurements, descriptions, timings. Then, near the end, the report changes. The final paragraph was sealed for decades. When the document was eventually released, only a portion remained legible. It read, "I looked into the broken mirror. For a moment, I saw the carriage exactly as it was. Then I blinked, and every seat was occupied." The inspector resigned 6 weeks later. He refused all interviews and never spoke publicly about Train 27 again. Most investigations end when the evidence disappears. This one became stranger. 3 months later, a freight train traveled the same route between Black Hollow and Greyfall. The engineer would later report an impossible sight. Shortly after entering a dense bank of fog, he saw another train moving beside him, matching his speed, matching his direction. The problem was simple. No parallel track existed. The second train should not have been there. At first, he assumed it was a reflection, a trick of light. Then he looked closer. The windows were illuminated. Dozens of figures sat inside, perfectly still, watching. No movement, no conversation, no expression, only faces, row after row, silent faces staring through the glass. The engineer would later swear that one of those faces was looking directly at him. When the fog finally cleared, the second train vanished. No tracks, no signal, no explanation, only empty countryside and silence. The disappearance of Train 27 remains unsolved. 37 passengers vanished, 3 crew members vanished, 1 conductor vanished. No bodies were recovered, no suspects identified, no explanation accepted. Officially, the case remains closed. Unofficially, the Greyfall Archives disagree, because the story did not end in 1903. Every 7 years, reports continue to surface. A distant whistle heard through heavy fog, lights moving across abandoned railway lines, passengers visible through carriage windows, always silent, always watching, always gone before anyone can get close. And according to a sealed archive document, there is one final detail investigators never released to the public. On the night Train 27 disappeared, a second train was briefly recorded entering Greyfall Station. The station clock confirms it. The telegraph log confirms it. Yet no one saw it arrive, no one saw it leave, and no official record of its existence remains. Only a single handwritten note stored inside the archives, a note containing 6 words. Train 27 was not alone. This file is closed. The mystery is not. Somewhere in Greyfall, another record is waiting to be found. I am Knox, and Greyfall remembers.
The next story is already waiting. Subscribe to enter the archive.